Oh,
Bolt Bros. Pregame show. Here we go.
Show. The day of.
The day
right.
of.
Very unusual for us, guys, as we all know. But yeah, kind of crazy. You know, I think this is probably the only time we had to actually do a video like this with all three of us. I know Kyle went live yesterday. We thought about maybe all hopping on live, but we couldn't make that happen. Right. So, hey, we'll go through this video. You guys check it out and go from there.
Here we go. But a big matchup tonight against the Broncos. The first Thursday night flex game, which kind of screwed a lot of fans to get to this game.
A lot.
Which is a lot. Kind of jacked up. But hey, if the NFL scripted, they scripted this thing out perfectly to put this as a premier matchup on a Thursday night football.
Right.
Actually, I think it's the last Thursday night football game, I think, of the year. Is it? I think it is, right?
Yeah, because next week there's a couple games on Christmas, and then there's a couple games on
Saturday. Charger game got flexed to Saturday, put to Saturday. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting matchup, but this one's a big one tonight, guys, for a lot of reasons, and we'll talk about it on some of the slides here once we get the show rolling, man.
Yeah, and I'm slacking, guys. I don't even have the highlights from the last game teed up, and there wasn't a lot of highlights, to be quite honest with you.
No, it's a lot of lowlights, man.
I mean, a lot of lowlights, a lot of donkey punching lights here. Hit that button, Kyle. Oh, there we go. Perfect. There we go.
Yeah, don't even worry about the highlights. That game was flush it down, move on.
No one wants to pay attention to that game anymore.
I don't care about that game. There's no highlights.
Yeah.
No highlights.
Yeah.
All righty, guys. Plenty to talk about. Let's get into it.
Here, man. You watching the Boat Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Charter blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Boat Bros on the beat, lead stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Boat Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
All right. Looks like, again, guys, apologize for the odd time we're doing this, but clearly we're not playing on a Sunday, so we're playing on a Thursday. This is the only time we could do it. So we're going to be as positive as possible. So let's just get into the slides, James, and go through what we want to talk about.
Dude, we got some positive looking jerseys here, dude. I like the baby blue with yellow pants.
I do like the yellow pants. Yeah.
Dude, it matches up well. You got the socks that match with the jersey. You got the pants that match with the bolts on the baby blue. It highlights each other a little bit.
The shoes and the gloves match. The hat match. Yeah. I don't know. It's that's premium for me.
I like it.
I really wish that we would get the yellow jersey top though. Get the gold.
All yellow.
Make what the pants what the top looks like, or maybe let's just go straight up yellow, all yellow, man.
Just the reverse of everything, essentially. Dude,
sure. Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, yellow top and powder blue pants. Bottom. Yeah,
that would be good. I think it'd be kind of a fun one to look at.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I think they gotta work with like a matching helmet of some sort or something.
True.
I don't know, maybe a baby blue with a yellow bolts on the side, dude, or something. I don't know.
It would be nice to see all baby blue, color rush, this whole thing, top to bottom, nuts to butts, and then nuts to butts all yellow too. By the way, Adrian, we are going to talk about the wide receiver room. We actually have some cool little breakdown footage that Kurt Warner did for Herbert. So we're going to go into that, and we'll talk more about that. Conversation. Kurt Warner pointed out some bad stuff. We'll leave it at that. With the route running. So it's not.
People were asking about that one. Yeah.
It's not 100% the wide receiver's fault. It kind of seems like it might also be a little bit of a
scheme,
route progression scheme problem as well. So
too simple. Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of things.
A lot of things. I'll show you some of those slides here pretty shortly too. But
that's later on. That was called a tease. It's called tease.
We're teasing that.
We're teasing you up.
A little bit of tease, huh? Yeah.
NFL game preview picks. Adam Rank did not choose us to win, so that is a win for us, guys.
Okay, we're gonna win. We gotta win.
We're gonna win this, guys.
We gotta win.
To be honest, in that score, the score that he put on there, 23-20, is probably, in my opinion, where this game's going to be at. Anyways, it's going to be in that zone. But I think it's going to be. My hopes is it's going to be the Chargers. Now, this is a big game for both teams. I mean, both teams got a lot running on this one. Ideally, I think both of these teams will find their way into the playoffs any which way. Like, regardless of the outcome, I feel like both of them are going to be playoff teams any which way. So, but Adam Stank did not choose us this week, so that's a win. Book it.
We don't like that guy.
We don't
like that guy.
Nope. That guy was so funny with his picks all season. Like,
weird.
He's just so odd. Like he would pretty much never made us win games, but then against the Chiefs, he's like, "Yep, they're gonna win that one for sure." Like, how? Like, if you put us to that point, we got like 3 wins. You think we're gonna beat the Chiefs all of a sudden? Like, what is going on here, dude?
Yeah, all of a sudden, it's like, I don't know. He's backwards. He's a backwards.
Terrible.
Yeah,
terrible, dude.
He's stupid. He's got a beard and a bald head, so I don't like him. Yeah. So I mean, anyways, but that's cool. I mean, look, but bottom line, hey, look, Chargers are favored to win. We're the home team. I think it's our game to lose. It really is. I mean,
100%.
You know, and you know, say what you want to say. I mean, the thing I get a little worried about is Justin Herbert. I want Herbert to stay healthy as much as possible, and they have a very good defensive scheme. So, a little stressed out about the pass rush, but Herbert did talk this week about getting the ball out of his hands a little more frequently and not holding on to it. I mean, it was interesting how often he talked about it this week. He talked about it a lot. So I'm really hoping that he kind of says, okay, let's make sure we, you know, get the ball out and, you know, do the right thing. Right. So we'll see what happens.
And those are the things that I always wonder about Justin Herbert, of how much input he has in like schemes, play calls, design of a play, what works, what he would like to have too. Like, I always wonder if he's really that vocal as a quarterback that he would actually go to Greg Roman and say, hey, let's draw this up. Or Greg Roman would present something to him and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking here. Do you want to change and adjust anything here? Like, I always wonder if he really is that verbal as a quarterback, or he would just be like, oh, yeah, looks great. Like, I just wonder if he just kind of takes what's given to him versus him putting enough input to make it more of a successful type play. And once again, we're going to show some of the current plays that are going out there right now. And you're just like, ooh, this is not easy to work with, guys.
Yeah. Well, and we'll talk more about that too, but it's a question of, are these choice routes, are these wide receivers running it because of inside leverage, outside leverage? You know, why are they running them the way that they're running them? And because again, like, you guys got to understand, right? I mean, because it's not, the play is not just run the flat. You know, sometimes it's, you know, this guy's open if this happens, and if it's man coverage, you go this way. They're very complicated plays, right? So you just got to wonder if maybe Justin Herbert and the wide receivers aren't on the same page, you know, or he might even be checking to these different things as well too. I know he has, you know, done some audibles, so you have to wonder, you know, who's really at fault at this point. But you know, one thing's for certain, and I'll say this right here: we got to get the running game going.
Yep, 100%.
Buddha on the Saints, over 25 rushes tonight. Gus over 100 yards. My prediction. I just think it needs to happen. Oh, we got McGill. Bold prediction about maybe inspired by Aether. I predict Herbert will rush for 35 yards. Hey.
And hopefully a touchdown with that 35 yards, because we're going to need something like that. You know,
him being banged up. I mean, we'll see how that plays out. Look,
by the way, fun thing about Aether though, apparently he was on Locked On, and he just he went on a big ass rant. And like, he was dropping F-bombs like crazy, like, you know, because of that Bucks game, you know. So
that's hilarious.
If you have a chance, go ahead, go check that one out on Locked On. And
oh boy,
he always calls in on their show and everything too, and he was like their like fan of the year, and he got an award and everything from him. A major award. He got a major award.
Hey,
I'm not wearing my
it must be in Italian. Well, I got mine right here. Got mine right here.
Well, there it is. Oh, it's all blending right there. I didn't even notice that.
That's totally blended right in, dude. I didn't even see that thing, dude.
Hey, Aether's here. Aether's here, actually. Okay.
What's up, Aether? What's going down, dude? We heard about your rant, dude. Yeah, Chargers Unleashed is what's going on. Yeah. That's hilarious, dude.
You're bringing the heat, apparently.
Yeah. You brought the heat. You brought the heat to Chargers Unleashed. So good work, dude.
Oh, it was Unleashed. Okay.
pretty funny.
That's his intro.
Yeah, I like that.
Just to think about how this game, I know this is a big game, guys, and I firmly believe we're still going to get to the playoffs regardless of whatever outcome is with this game any which way. But
for sure,
the thing about it is you don't want to go into this game with a loss and then you have to feel like you have to win the next 2 games. Like,
yeah,
feel your destiny a little bit more right now. And there is some scenarios here too where you could essentially seal a playoff berth this week with a win. Current playoff picture right now, Kansas City top seed, 13-1. We'll see what happens with Mahomes and his ankle. Is he just trying to play a game a little bit? Remember when he won that Super Bowl? Oh, I have a high ankle sprain. Goes out there and plays perfect.
He wants to tell everyone he's a baller, dude. Like, shut up.
Sit down, fool. It's like he's trying to get his Michael Jordan flu game going on right now, but it's good. His ankle game or something. I don't know. Whatever, dude. Come on,
Taylor. I believe it was just their recent one. It was like it happened just yesterday. So for Chargers Unleashed, So thank you for the $2. Yeah.
Thank you, Taylor. What's up?
Yeah, appreciate it, brother.
Get that 2 air horn. Hey, there you go. Double air horn.
Get an air horn for every $1 you give, dude. Someone
throw $100 in. We won't even be talking the whole time. We'll just hit the air horn the whole time. Just pow, 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 pow.
So Buffalo sitting at the 2 seed right now essentially would be the seed that plays the 7th seed at that point.
Mm-hmm. Did you say Buffalo?
No, definitely did not.
Oh my gosh!
Did not say that.
Oh my gosh!
And then Pittsburgh would be playing Baltimore. Houston would be playing Denver at this point. Now, it will change if the Chargers win. They will go to the 6th seed over Denver because of the tiebreaker, and then have a 2-0 record versus them.
Yep.
And then if they win out, the Chargers could be 11-6 for the rest of the season. So, which would be a major success, to be honest, for this team.
Yeah, it would be.
Like, it would be major success to do that. So, regardless, I think both of these teams will find their way in the playoffs. Now, I'm just going to push one more slide here real quick. Chargers could win a playoff berth if they win, and then Indy loses and Miami loses, or Los Angeles ties, which is a very rare circumstance. Indy loss, Miami loss, Cincy loss. So essentially, we win, they lose. Indy does have a very cake schedule. Miami has a tough schedule in front of them. I don't know if necessarily you could really say and depend on Indy to lose this weekend. But I could see Miami losing this weekend too. So bottom line, just keep winning. Just win, guys. Like, that's win, baby. Just win, baby.
I mean, we don't like nothing that the Raiders say ever, but that does make sense, right? Just win, baby. It's
just I like win, baby. Just win, baby. For this reason,
that's my online dating profile as well. You know what I mean? I always finish strong. That's my other one I need to add to.
To say who the Colts are playing this weekend. They're playing the Titans at home. The Dolphins are playing the Niners in Miami. So I can see Miami losing. I can't really see the Colts finding a way to lose to the Titans at this point. So any which way, keep winning. Let's get winning. Let's get bolted up. Let's get out there. Make it happen. By the way, if you're in LA, go out there and go to this game. It's a great game to be at. This is going to be a playoff environment type game. Last home game too of the season too. So big one. And tickets are like $50 right now.
Get out there right now though too, because it's like the tailgate's going on. It's going strong right now, know. Yeah, it's popping
lit,
off,
you go get a photo. Let's talk about it. Please send us a picture. We'll put it up on there, man. I love that place, man. Let's talk. We got to hit him up. Got to hit
Sean Merriman's there, with his ultimate fan zone thing. It gets it's popping. Yeah,
it's going great.
Logan brought up a good point. I'd rather play the Texans. They're a terrible division and they are overrated. I agree. Yeah. Sure. I mean, by the way, I had what's his name for my fantasy team? What's the quarterback? Why am I drawing a blank on his name all of a sudden?
CJ Stroud.
Oh, Stroud. Yeah, Stroud. I kept thinking something different. But yeah, anyways, he sucked this year. I was like freaking annoyed, dude. I was like, man, this guy's supposed to be good. Like, man, he was killing it last year. I'm like, oh my God.
Sophomore slump. You got a sophomore slump, dude, and it happens, man. And even to say if you play against the Steelers, I feel like we pair pretty well against the Steelers. Yeah, you're going to a cold weather situation. You are going to a cold weather game next week against New England. So you're kind of getting a little bit of that feeling of what it's like to play early in cold weather type situation. I feel like we pair up pretty well with dang near almost any of those teams outside of the Bills. Like, I think the Bills would be a very tough one. The 7th seed playing against the Bills is going to be a tough one, man.
The Bills are definitely they're playing great football. Their defense is playing great. Offense is playing great. I think they're probably the best. They're probably the best team, I would say. I mean, I think the Ravens are good too, but you know, I would say the Bills are the best for sure.
Well, the Bills beating the Lions last week, like.
That was big. The Lions. Yeah, do they?
And the whole thing about it is, like, with the Lions, like, the Lions are a very, very good team in the NFC. They have gone through 22 people on IR right now, and it is unbelievable how they are still winning. Now, that goes back to scheme. Make a simple scheme to make it easy for whoever wants to jump in there in the defense or whoever fills whatever position and make that system still work. But I do think the Lions, and I know it's NFC talk, the Lions basically could go up against a team like the Bills, where the Bills could score a whole heck of a lot of points, but they have a better defense to be able to make those stops. Like, I think if I'm going to get, maybe I should do a recap show of the NFC, AFC and kind of where I feel things are going to go, because I have an idea of where it could all go for that side. But the Bills basically could take out a team like the Rams, say if they go to the Super Bowl or whatnot. I feel like the Packers have a great chance of beating the Lions in the playoffs if they play against each other.
You know, the interesting thing to do about it too, like, this is a good Tom bring up this fact: Rams beat the Bills. Yeah, that's why the NFL is so interesting, because you could be a great team and just struggle. Look at the Bengals right now, man. The Bengals, they arguably best year for Joe Burrow his whole career, and he just cannot. They just, as a team, they're not performing well. Whereas, you know, I think Herbert's having one of his worst years, but the team is performing better around him. You know, but he's also got a little bit different role within that offense as compared to what he's had in the past. So, and less weapons too. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Doesn't have a whole lot of people to throw the damn ball to at this point, right? So,
and we'll point out a couple of those things on that too here shortly. So, it's kind of wild. And I mean, the thing is, Herbert has not had a defense pretty much all his career. I mean, even say a run game too.
We got Rich. We got a Broncos fan.
Here he goes. Everybody got Richie, Bronco fan.
He's Canadian, so we got to speak slowly too. And
this guy, dude.
Right, Rich. You know, we'll accommodate for you there, Rich. You know what I'm saying? We see you.
Yeah.
No, this would be a good game though, Rich. I'd say, actually, maybe we should get Rich on the post-game show. What do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Well, it depends. If we win, then yes, he can come on. If we lose, no, he ain't coming on.
No. You're out.
Huh? Exactly.
Just giving you guys an announcement. I know we chatted about it. Next Saturday is the Patriots Chargers game, so they moved it to a Saturday based game. I think they moved it to a Saturday game. I don't know if that was the original plans or whatnot. But 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on NFL Network for the game next weekend. So kind of cool to see that. I mean, it's kind of, we have a mini bye week kind of leading into that next game, so it's kind of a nice thing to be able to kind of have an earlier game, maybe one extra day to rest to go into that Raider game to finalize the season. So fun one to see that one happen. I'm looking forward to see that one.
I just don't want to see any cold, wet. Well, it's going to be cold out there in New England, but I don't want to see snow. You know, that would just kind of suck.
Snow game. But J.K. Dobbins might be back by that time too, so keep that in mind. He could come off the IR next week if he's healthy enough. So we'll see. And today, if you guys want to, Native Grill here in Arizona. Come on through.
Wiggins, get your Wiggins.
Get your Wiggins, baby.
Get your Wiggins there. They actually got some really good happy hour specials, guys. Like, food's super cheap. Super cheap. So I'm like super down for it. So yeah, we're on the patio there. It's pretty awesome. Multiple screens there and everything too. Ton of Chargers fans. Come on out. It's a good time. So I'm planning to go out there too. So it'll be real fun time.
I'm actually, come on out, guys. Truth is, I'm actually considering going to like a bar just to watch the game at as well. Just next near my house. It's literally just I don't know, just like a stone's throw away. I can just like jump over there and just run on back, you know, for the stuff, you know.
Not bad.
it's not a bad idea because I might consider doing that. Starting my own little watch party group out here in Utah. So yeah,
that's a good idea.
It'd be great. And people have hit us up about like a Bolt Pride or like group that's for Utah, and we don't really have anything out in Utah. I've been told. Alvarez told me, he said there's nobody out in Utah.
Pride. There's no diehard out here. There's no. I mean, it's like we might start that. Be the Bolt Pride in Utah.
Why not?
As well.
Why not?
Yeah.
We worried about the time we've had to rest and prepare. I think in a weird way, it's almost a blessing. I just think it's like, all right, we're back to it. No big deal. We just got to go get it. And sometimes you can overthink things. I think, you just kind of never know. Yeah.
Justin Herbert, I believe, talked about that. And he said, it's for both of us. I mean, we're both going off of a short week, very little preparation. It's more about just, all right, this is the game plan that we're going to run. Very light practices. I think the Chargers had kind of an evening practice yesterday to kind of give a little extra rest to focus on game plan. Both teams are kind of struggling to have either which way. Now, I will probably say that the Chargers have a little bit more advantage because the game is here or in LA versus like you don't have to travel from Denver to LA. Not saying it's a huge flight or anything like that, but at least you could be at home, sleep in your own bed. You're not kind of getting adjusted. If there is some sort of adjustment, you could at least plan more for the game this week. I do think that this defense is very, very much have a bad taste in their mouth. I think they're going to come out a little bit more sharper this game. They have to be. Khalil Mack talked a lot about that. Is like, look, man, I don't feel good about that game by any means, and that is going to motivate me heavily for this game.
It was weird. Our pass rush was anemic. I was like, what is going on? And I will say this: Jesse Minter had a couple bad play calls too. I really felt like the 3-man rushes we had in these long. I was like, what's going on here? And then, anyways, we talk about that stuff forever. I mean, but hey. Kudos to, Mayfield. He did a good job.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I think you said thoughts on Richard says thoughts on the current weak spots for the Chargers. Chargers ain't got no weak spots, bro. What you talking about? We got no weak spots. No weak spots. No.
What would you say the weak spot would be? I mean, I running back.
I said running back and wide receivers for sure. But
running back, wide receivers for sure.
Yeah. The interesting thing is last game against Denver, we had who went out? It was Surtain went out. He had a concussion, I believe, right?
So, it was like the first play of the game too.
Yeah, crazy. So that was pretty huge. Again, one of our better corners is out right now. Cam Hart, you can see him on the list right there. He's out. He's rookie. He's been playing great, but he'll be out. By the way, is Asante back? I don't think he's going to be active for the game, is he? Have we seen anything here?
I haven't heard nothing about it.
Here, let me check X real quick.
If he didn't have anything injury or at least showing that he's on the list of people practicing, I don't think that he's even officially even activated off the IR. So until they basically say, hey, you're activated. Now we have a 21-day window to activate you as an official player. They haven't even done that for him at all. I mean, unless he really literally has like a terrible shoulder injury, they haven't done anything to take him off that list by any means. So he's still sitting there just kind of waiting in the wings.
Looks like Hayden Hurst is up and they elevated Bottle and Williamson as well. So interesting. DiCaprio Bottle and Kendall Williamson. Kendall Williamson, remember, he was a pickup, I think, safety from the Jets? I can't remember where they got him.
I think so. Yep. Yeah, because it's
Bills. Spent time with the Bears and Bills.
Cool.
Yep.
And that's why it's because Elijah Moulton's probably out of this game too. They're just trying to fill up that gap a bit in the back end of the defense. So so questionable. Denzel Perryman actually sounds like he is activated for this game, which is an absolute blessing for this game too.
He definitely he said no matter what he's going to play this game. So, it's going out. Yeah. So
that's great. And Denzel, man, like, dude, he's a stud. He's an absolute stud. He is honestly like, he's the vet of the defense, in my opinion. He is the guy that is really leading this kind of more physical side of this nature of this defense. I mean, he's an absolute Swiss Army knife, and he does a great job of dissecting like the gaps in their offensive line. Phenomenal player, and I'm glad to be able to finally see him back. And I think we have sorely missed him, in my opinion, for this defense. So big to have him back this week.
Ooh, Jose brought up an interesting point here. There's rumor ASJ doesn't want to suit up without a new deal. That doesn't surprise me.
Wow,
that doesn't surprise me. Now, I'll say this: they may let him go. I mean, look at these rookies playing so great right now.
Yeah, right.
They may just say we'll let him walk, and he'll be a comp pick target for us.
Yep,
potentially. So it's like, well, and Asante's small, man. He's not a big guy. I mean, he's like my height, right? He's not a huge dude.
Yep.
He's probably 190 pounds soaking wet, maybe 180. So
yeah.
And he doesn't tackle well. So that's again in this defense, it's
physical.
I mean, as much as I don't want to see him go, I could. He probably wants a ton of money, right? So
sure. Yeah, he wants one of the top tier cornerback contracts, and it's just not going to happen, man. I mean,
yep. Tony
Tony
Jefferson's going to be there too. He could have a big game, man. I mean, the old man out there, man. He looked good when he's out there, so we'll see what happens. He's got good instincts.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to point out, and I know Andrew already talked about it, how Pat Surtain basically went out the last game. That kind of shifted the game kind of early on for the Chargers. I rewatched that game, and it was funny. We were the first half team, and then the Broncos were the fourth quarter team, essentially, to make that interesting.
For sure.
And so what an interesting stat, too. Well, and I'm just going to point out Riley Moss won't be playing, who is a very, very good corner.
He's very good
for Denver Broncos. Shout out to white cornerbacks, by the way. They're starting to come back around.
They're starting to get in fashion.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't got to make it a race thing,
boys. White cornerbacks,
James. I don't know why you got to bring race into it, dude.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, they talked about it pre-season. Remember when they were doing the whites versus like blacks and all these different teams that you're creating and stuff, and it was like, hey, I got no white cornerbacks, So.
Yeah, who was that big guy that went to the Eagles from Iowa? What was his name?
Yeah, that
was Cooper DeJean. Yeah. The mustard guy. The mustard guy. The mustard guy. I was
DeJean Grey Poupon. Yes, right.
Grey Poupon. What's up?
Grey Poupon. Yeah, right. So having Riley Moss out is probably going to be a very big thing for this team too. Now I remember I think it was Jaquan McMillan, I believe, who we picked on a ton last game against them.
Yeah, and he's out too.
Yeah, and he's out too. So it's kind of like they are kind of going to be susceptible to some areas on their defense and the cornerback side of things. Now, once again, we need wide receivers that actually could get open and
catch the damn ball too. Yeah.
Yeah. So and even say that too. There's a whole nother thing about that too, where Chargers and Broncos are tied for 25 drop passes in the league. That's third. We're tied third in the league at this point for drop passes. Not good, guys. Not good.
This is good. I like this, Chris B. Brandon Perna. I do love Brandon Perna, dude. He cracks me up, man. What is it? Is it That's Good Sports? He's hilarious. It would be nice. I mean, I got to cheer against Brandon Perna for this one for sure. Obviously. Yeah, Ladd's playing. Yep. This is good stuff, though. Watch this.
So I just want to show you, and this is like what we've been teasing, guys. So Kurt Warner did a video just showing off some of the routes that Justin Herbert's having right now to deal with. Like basically what he was pointing out is like very, very difficult to make anything out of what is given to him. So essentially look at this.
What the heck is going on
here? Two guys out here up top, essentially bunched together to try to get open versus, you got 4 guys right there, 5, 6 guys. So 2 guys versus 6. There's everybody's covering right at this point. Even one guy still got through both men basically. And this ended up as a sack. This play ended as a sack. Why? Well, he's got 2 options at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's a terrible, terrible, terrible play. Like, where's the winning point at this play call by any means? Where can you win? Like, you have to have 2 of these guys find a way through 6 guys defending them to be open. That is a very, very difficult call and play for anybody to succeed in.
Yeah.
Nuts.
And that's clearly just a scheme problem, right? So, and again, like I mentioned it, I don't know if it was a choice route and they thought, I got inside leverage, so I need to go this way or that way. I mean, who knows, right? But either way, you don't want your 2 wide receivers, your 2 options right next to each other.
No.
It's like, what's the point of that, right? I mean, Herbert has to make a perfect throw. Again, I mean, is this a running back at the bottom here, bunched up right next to who is that?
Looks like
is that the tight end?
Looks like Matlock and running back.
Matlock. Yeah,
on the bottom there.
Yep.
And then
he didn't get the middle blitzer right there, and Herbert about to get destroyed.
Stone Smart right there. Yeah, dude. What is he doing? He's just like doing pushing on Matlock. Why? And because that edge defender on the bottom there is literally just like he's like, never mind, I'm gonna back up here because this is way too much.
100%.
Yeah, and then Stone Smart on the top is just like he's just playing, just tapping, Joe Alt's booty right there.
I think that's actually Joe Alt. That's Joe Alt right there.
That's Joe Alt right there.
Yeah. So that's the right tackle, Joe Alt, and I think that is actually Jamari, I believe. Oh, Jamari's right here.
Yeah,
Joe Alt. Oh, that's got to be Stone Smart.
I think it's Stone Smart on the top there. Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it might be, but he needs to go out in the flat, dude.
Yeah, dude, run out there.
Go out the flat.
Just run out, towards the 10-yard line right there, and you're freaking good.
It's maddening. It's maddening to look at those kind of plays, and I'll give you another example here. Here's another one. So. Once again, everybody's bundled in this bottom area again.
What is this?
You understand this throw right here. That's a very, very difficult throw.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult. There's nobody on the top at all.
The field. Yeah.
Not even a threat. So why is everybody running? And it literally looks like an out route right here.
Yeah.
One coming down at a guy whose coverage, which obviously he's going to have to choose either which way. This guy's pretty much out of the play.
Yeah.
That's a very tough throw for Justin Herbert to go, and especially when there's a guy coming at him too. Why isn't there a guy, an Austin Eckler, just sitting here right in the flat? You could just dump it off to him, let him run. Think about that. If you want to pull everybody down at this point, put somebody up here to just try to push somebody up there to maybe make a one-on-one. You could drop it off right here. Boom. If this guy's the only guy there, you just got to get past him, and that's it. It's going to be a big play. Pull everybody down that way. Find a way to get somebody to just a quick dump off route. Let them run 20, possibly even a touchdown at that point. That's a very, very open play up top, but it's not a threat. So it's just maddening to look at this. Very long throw, going to be tough throw to get to Ladd here. Crazy. Yeah. I hate looking at these plays because it just really frustrates me. I'm not an offensive coordinator by any means, but that's a bad play. It's a bad play.
There's no inventiveness, right? Who's your check down? Who's your hot route? Who's, okay, well, this guy's beat. The running back at the top there is beat. May as well just go to the flat so we can just check it over the top of him, and that would be a big play.
100%.
So, the dude's past you. Just go to the side somewhere, and he can just dump it off to you. So I don't know. It is a little strange. And that's coaching too, though, right? I do think that's just 100% coaching, right? I mean, you can say what you want to say about, execution, but sometimes it's like, dude, look at that. The three dudes just bite. You're not even using the whole field, right?
No.
So a little weird.
Well, and it's almost like their scheme is designed to say, give Justin Herbert as much coverage as he possibly can so he doesn't take any hits. But at the same side, he's going to take a hit in this one.
Yeah.
And I believe this play actually went in. He ended up, it was an incomplete pass, I think, to Ladd at this point. It's not winning scheme. This is a very, very lose-lose. Three guys in one area, nobody on the other side to kind of open up, maybe a little diversion at some point. That's really annoying. Put Kamani out in the flat. Put Darius Davis in the flat. Let him just dump it off to him and let him run. Darius Davis up top would have been huge. That guy's got wheels for days, and he could add a huge gain at that point. But once again, Justin Herbert, you can see where he's looking. He's only looking at that one area where three guys are at. It's too tough of a play, man.
Good point by Chris Guzman here. We actually talked about this, I think, in the post game show after we got donkey punched by the by the Bucks. But
poor choice of words for tonight, because we are playing the Donkeys this game. So
the Broncos. Well, and again, but look, he needs to run outside the pocket. Problem is he can't run, right? He's got two bum ankles and a jacked up knee that you still don't really know the situation with the knee, but it sounds like it's a really horrible bruise that so his legs are he's kind of like a tree, like Tom Brady and Phil Rivers, as we remember Phil Rivers back in the days, right? So it's a bummer, man. But I guess why I bring it up is it may be part of the reason why this is happening and these plays are so bad is these are plays where he's supposed to be protected in the pocket. They're not rolling him out or anything like that, right? So keeping him out of harm's way. But unfortunately, it's almost making it worse, right? I guess that's my other part of the problem.
Mm-hmm. I mean, long drawn out routes, right? I mean, these are all like, if you look at these last 3 plays, they're all basically 15-yard plus type routes. Mm-hmm. That takes time to develop, guys. And once again, this right here, you have 2 guys, Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey. Basically, there's a low man that you could throw to, slightly shallower, or you could throw it high to Quentin Johnston. If I was Justin Herbert, I'd probably throw to Quentin Johnston, which I believe he does, out to the outside, and it's still incomplete at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
then you got one man out here that could essentially run continuously an out route. And then you have one guy here in the middle who's completely, and that's probably Kamani Vidal, right at the tip of the bolt, completely out of the play at that point. Like not even a choice at this point. So whatever it was, he did not go out fast enough on his route. It's pretty much just a lose-lose kind of play too. Very difficult throws. And that's the whole thing that Kurt Warner was pointing out, and something that I've been pointing out, that I feel like we're just doing very, very bad. Just try to spread out their defense, make it harder on them, try to get some more one-on-one situations. And once again, there's nobody on the left side of the field. You're essentially playing 1/3 of the field almost every single time. And that's not good.
Yeah. The other thing I would say too, this is a good point here. Joe Lombardi, Kellen Moore, we didn't think of it as bad as they were. It's interesting that our defense is number 1. We're actually tied, I believe, with the Broncos now.
Yep.
And yet our offense is abysmal, and we were really good last year, right? But our defense was so terrible because we had BS there. And anyways, my point is, like, it's interesting how we just haven't been able to just find continuity. Now, I will say this. We are going to have Jim Harbaugh. He ain't going anywhere, guys. You know that. I know that. The NFL knows that. So whether he stays, whether Greg Roman keeps, being the offensive coordinator here, will be interesting to see. But boy, it is a little frustrating because we do expect to see Herbert make those amazing throws, and we'll see how it goes.
Yep, 100%.
I mentioned that last night though too. I was like, you know what? It's might get crucified for it, but it's very clear to me that I do believe that Lombardi was not the problem at all. He never was the problem. It was always a Brandon Staley problem.
Sure, it was.
Yeah.
And Joe Lombardi is
hindsight
actually
is 2020.
Joe Lombardi is the offensive coordinator in title for the Broncos too, by the way. So,
you got to remember their offense is interesting because it's very much spread. It's find the one-on-one matchup, and then the wide receiver is just going to beat the one-on-one matchup, and that's it. It's pretty simple, really, and then get the ball out fast.
Yep.
Whereas this is more route progressions, and it's a little different, but it is frustrating. And then again, when the running game doesn't work, it's like, well, what do we do now? So I think that's where, like, I suspect we're going to just run the ball and just try and smash the ball as much as possible. Where I don't want us to keep doing is that we just keep doing the same stupid running plays over and over again. It's a jet sweep. They sniff those out every time now. And let's just do A gap, B gap, halfback dive right, halfback dive left. They sniff those out like left and right, GT counters. There's no pre-snap motion. There's no interesting type of, formations or nothing. It's become very vanilla, which is really frustrating. In fact, I remember this last game. I saw Darius Davis trying to block, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing out there, dude? I mean, it's like me out there trying to block somebody, dude. He's like 180 soaking wet.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 170.
Yeah, that's like freaking having the imp from Game of Thrones trying to block. Because he's short and small. Like, dude, you really gonna try and block a linebacker or something, bro? Like,
it was crazy.
You're gonna get tossed around like freaking.
Like, it's wild to look at, guys. I mean, once again, I'm just wanted to point out all those plays because it's frustrating. And to Andrew's point, like, one thing that I felt like last game we did well is run around the tackles versus run in the middle of the line. Like, play more on the outside. You have 2 elite tackles. Let them do their thing. Roll out a guard with them to give an extra blocker. Make the wide receivers get on their man and put some hands on this guy and like go out there and do stuff like that. Stop with these run up the gut type situations. We don't got like a premier like inside O-line.
Yeah. Our inside is not that great. So that's definitely like, the weakest spot of our thing. So just run towards the outsides. It's totally fine.
To the outside. Run to the outside.
Or just do little quick passes to the outside. That's fine.
Exactly.
Come on. Logan says, anyone else think Andrew looked like Kirk Herbstreit a little? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
There you go.
I'm better looking, but that's cool. No big deal. What was it? There was another good. Yeah. Okay. More passes to Stone Smart. I like that.
I agree.
Yeah. The script talk makes me sick. I will say this. At times, our opening script is good. When we played the Broncos the first time, our first 15 were great. But I don't understand like how we've gotten off topic so quick. And it'll be interesting to see if we even have a script this time because it's a very short week, man. But come on, Stone Smart will be out there with Hayden Hurst. Yep. Hayden Hurst is a very good blocking tight end. It's sad that he's been so banged up, so we'll see how that goes.
And that started with him taking that hit in
dude,
what the third post game or preseason game.
Yeah, I thought his legs were gone. Like he literally chopped his legs off, and I was like, to me, that was almost like one of those hits that you're like, this guy should, personal foul or whatever. Right? I mean, it was bad, dude.
Yeah. Big time, right? Big time. I know we chatted about this already too, but Daniel Popper kind of put this stat out there from True Media Sports. Basically, actually, I said it was third in the league. It's second in the league that they're tied with 25 drop passes. I mean, it's crazy to think about that. I mean, Bo Nix has thrown the ball a lot more than I've ever seen a rookie done in a very long time. But that's once again a very Sean Payton thing to do. He's like, hey, he's Drew Brees, so let's keep throwing it like we're going to throw it 50 plus times a game. But I mean, they don't really have too much of a run game too. So I think really Justin Herbert and Bo Nix at this point are kind of in the same pool where we don't really have a run game without J.K. Dobbins, period. I don't feel like Bo Nix has a threat too much to run of a running game. He himself is a threat to run the ball, but I don't feel like they have a running back behind them that could actually do some damage too. So
yeah,
it's just tough to be able to see that, guys. Like we got to see these numbers down a little bit too. And I mean, once again, Justin Herbert with 25 drop passes to his wide receivers. I mean, Quentin Johnson was a pretty big, target of those 25, probably a lion's share of those too.
I don't even know. I thought it would be higher than that. I thought we'd be at 30 or so. Cause I mean, dude, guys, we were 0 for 6 on third down against the Bucs.
Can't do that. 0
for 6. Herbert talked about
over 6. I think it was 0 for 12, bro.
No, it was 0 for 6. I think it was 0 for 6. I mean, we didn't.
I don't know. 6, yeah. I'm just any stat. I'm just gonna double it because it was just as bad.
It just seemed like a lot more.
Yeah, it seemed a lot worse. Donkey punch that for damn sure. I mean, I was like, what in the hell, guys? Like, I was bad. But I will say this. I'll drop the conversation after this last thought. But remember what I said on my recap show. Not many people watched. I know people don't like to watch, especially after a loss, a recap of a loss. But I always like to just get my final thoughts out there. The one thing I will say is Harbaugh did say play wasn't good enough. Coaching wasn't good enough. Overall, none of it was good enough. I mean, there was literally nothing that went well against the Bucs. And, every year there's a game or two like that with the Chargers. And I mean, we've been seeing it a lot more in the past with BS, but this was the first game that I think we've seen the Chargers just go, wow, we wet the bed. And the second half was just deplorable. Dude.
Yeah.
Deplorable. I mean, that's like us, the Bolt Bros being out there. I'll be the QB, Kyle's the wide receiver, and James will be the running back, dude. We in trouble, guys, if that's the case. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy.
I got a bum shoulder. I still hit nukes though. I still hit nukes when I, play softball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull a hamstring like instantaneously. It's like
oh, so bad.
Yeah, but again, I'm just saying, like, I'm curious how we respond. That's more my concern. Are we going to come out angry? Are we going to come out all sad and timid? Are we going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very curious because this is sort of the game where you really have to, what are you made of? How are, because I'll tell you right now, we come out weak, I'm going to be like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, we'll see what happens with the Patriots and the Raiders,
Let me throw out a stat real quick too. And this is something that last week that I talked with you guys about, like the amount of second half points per game. You know, think about when Lombardi was here, when we had terrible. We were terrible in the third quarter with Lombardi as our offensive coordinator. But right now we're at 8.3 for the last 3 games. For the season, 8.4 points for the season in second half. Now, Denver, where is Denver at for second half points? Let's just say in the last 3 games. Throw out a guess there, guys. What do you think what is their second half points right now? Throw a guess out there.
For the Chargers, you mean?
For the Denver Broncos for the last 3 games.
I would say 20 points because I know they come back.
It's 21.3. Yep. That puts them right behind the Buffalo Bills at this point.
Oh gosh.
So
boy.
Now once again I will say yeah, that's a
because we went in the bed the second half mostly.
Yeah, bad.
I mean just like what is going on here?
I understand we play a different type of ball. Like we play more like physical, hold the score, good, strong defense that'll basically, if we give them 17 points, all right, the defense will do their job kind of thing. But I get it. We're a different brand of football. I get it also that the Broncos have played the Raiders, Browns, and the Colts for the last 3, but they still put 31 up on the Colts. They put 41 up on the Browns. Like they still have put a lot of points on these guys. Yeah. And remember, Bo Nix basically put up a clinic on us and almost won the game last time we played them in the fourth quarter. So, like, it's very, very tough to look at that, guys. And we've got to be a better team in the second half. I mean, we've been inept essentially in the second half, and it's not a good thing. It's not winning football. It's not what Jim Harbaugh wants. He wants winning football. Find a way to win the game in the fourth quarter. Now, if you have a 1-point lead, that's a very, very tough thing to say and a big ask to say, hey, look, go win the game and make sure you don't let them score a point or 2 points, I should say. It's tough. It's tough. So I did want to throw it out there. If you guys saw his tweet, Tyreek Hill said, it's time for me to go, coach. So if we're looking at the wide receivers and trying to get playmakers, would Tyreek Hill be one of those guys that you'd want to go after? I mean, he's an elite guy, but maybe he's kind of regressing. Speed regresses fast too, guys. And who knows if he's maybe not that guy anymore? Maybe he's just lost favor with the for the Dolphins too. Who knows?
Yeah, that's probably more of it. I mean, because I don't think he's lost a step or anything like that. Really, I mean, the truth is, like he's a big enough name that people will have to respect it. Like, and they'll have to cover him and stuff. So because if he's open, he's gonna freaking make you pay for it. So
100%.
Yeah, so that's why, like, I think we need to make if we can, let's make a move for him. I'm down for it.
Yep. I don't know, man. Like, I don't think he fit in culture wise with the Chargers though. He seems like a head case. Maybe the whole getting arrested before the game, and he made a big deal. I mean, clearly he was mouthing off to the police officers and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know about this guy.
I don't know, man. That seems like that game he played like he played angry, and he ate that game, man. So like, I don't care, man. Let's get him arrested more often like that,
Yeah, well, but I'm just saying, culture wise though, that's a guy Harbaugh doesn't want, So
I think that's a guy that Tom Telesco doesn't want. But we got Joe Ortiz now, so he might want that dog.
No, I don't know. I think the exact opposite. I think there's no way he wants him, and I don't think Jim Harbaugh wants a guy like that. I just don't think he does.
Possible, yeah.
So, I mean, but I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? I mean, what do you think, James?
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, too. Like, you got to go back and think of what the Ravens' philosophy is. Have they really had any head cases? They did have Odell Beckham Jr. for 1 year, but it was kind of like
they paid him way too much money. It was like $15 million or some crap like that.
Guaranteed or something, too.
So stupid.
It's crazy. So,
well, the rumor also is that Allen's coming back, too. That's the rumor. Whether or not that happens or not, who knows, But
But I think, once again, if you think about even with Tom Telesco, but then you look at what the Ravens do, they don't want head cases essentially at that point. So
true.
I don't imagine that. And I don't think Jim Harbaugh is going to want a head case either, too. So, but who knows? This could be a different type of idea. Like, hey, if they find a way to get him over here, I mean, obviously it would be pretty awesome to have him back in the AFC West under, Justin Herbert. I mean, That would be exciting. But who knows?
I still think it's funny. This is a good little sign. Keenan Allen season having a down year, but every receiver playing. I wonder why Allen would come cheap too. I think Caleb Williams is a disaster. I still think that guy's going to be an absolute nightmare. I don't think he's going to be good. This is my take. He just seems like, I mean, the amount of NIL money that guy got, I don't think he's going to amount to anything, you know. And don't get me wrong, he's got all the talent in the world, but you know, it's also about being the right. I guess my point is, it's also about being a good person in the locker room. I think that goes a long way. So I just don't see, you know, that working out very well, in my opinion. So
I get it. I thought this was another interesting stat that Daniel Popper put out from True Media Sports. So success rate is essentially like meaning 1st and 10, say you get 6 yards to, you know, 4 yards on the second down or whatnot. Basically success rate of getting to another first down, you know, play.
Yeah.
EPA basically is measure the value of each play by how it affects the offense's likelihood to score.
Yeah.
So we have basically gone from one of the best offenses in the league
to one of the worst.
One of the worst. EPA, you're basically from the second best to, you know, not necessarily the worst, but you're the back 15 at this point in the league. It's not good. Things are going in the opposite direction at this point. Now, once again, we have played a lot more stronger teams, I think, later in the schedule. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah,
But also J.K. Dobbins is not there too, and I feel like J.K. really paces out the offense more too. So, you
know, and Herbert's hurt too, right? I mean, again, I don't want to diminish that. I know that sounds like an excuse. I'm not trying to make an excuse out of it, but
absolutely not.
When you're running, when you need to stand, plant, throw, it's not fun when you're hurt. It's just not. You know, especially your legs. You know, it's part of
especially when you get hit on every single play. You know, like. I mean, our line was just like abysmal. I mean, really, that's why they're throwing, you know, was it 9 people on the line and then 2 receivers out there? You know, it's because Herbert needs more protection. You know, because they're not. They need to double wrap it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why.
Double wrap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I'll make a joke. I would make a joke, but I won't.
This is the internet, man.
We'll let that one go. We'll let that one go.
Nope.
All right.
That's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Watch out, dodge that bullet, boys.
Oh boy.
So,
here we go.
Chargers offense versus Chargers defense. This is where we're at. We're still ranked as 17.6, number 1 in the league for opponents allowed scoring on the defense.
Yeah.
But our points offensively are 21. It's starting to kind of get closer to each other.
Lower,
Come on, James. Don't be slacking, man. Bust out that crayon. You give the fans what they want, man. Get that crayon out there.
Crayon, dude.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Guys always said, "Ooh, there's a laser pointer option now too." What's that about?
Yeah.
So
maybe you're better at the laser pointer. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Op yards, we're giving up quite a bit. 15th in the league.
Yeah, those are dropping. Yeah, so we're getting worse.
Yeah, so it's not like it's helping out by any means. We're starting to get a little bit worse. Like even to say ops yards per play, now we're almost mid-tier in the league. You know, 4th down conversion, I mean, not like it happens that much, but we're getting to become one of the worst. Now we're still good in the red zone scoring, which, you know, last week when the Bucs scored their touchdown on the first drive, I was kind of like, whoa, I was a little shocked. It's been a while since we've seen that happen.
Yeah,
I feel like we do a great job on the first drive to be able to hold them to a field goal or no score. So it was kind of shocking to see that. So either which way, we're not necessarily a top tier offense. We're kind of a mid-tier type offense, and we're just kind of an unbalanced offense, in my opinion. So,
and again, you got to wonder, is it Herbert? Is it the scheme? Is it just players out? Now, I will say this also, we are not a very deep team. Our backups that are coming in are people, I mean, are not like our blocking tight end is someone we got off the practice squad. Fisk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big freaking dude, but is he really the long-term answer, right? You know, he's kind of a fill-in and whatever, right? But, you know, we'll see what happens when we have Hayden Hurst out there now. So,
big time.
Anyways, I'll leave I'll say this offensively. Here's my take. Thank you, Aether, by the way, as well, too. So
you got to give him. There it is. Got to give him a horn, baby.
Get that horn, baby. No, but I will say this though, that I think we just need to run the ball. We need to stick to the running game.
Yep.
And I would say go more like a 60-40, run the ball and get those safeties to start coming down, and then we can hit them with the play action, right? But we keep getting away from the running game and keep Herbert healthy so he doesn't get banged up, man. Gus Edwards getting paid money, man, and he hadn't done much. So, get him and Vidal going and mix up the run game is what I would do. That's my take, at least.
Yeah. I mean, that's a hard thing to say because it's like we are not doing well against the run game. We feel like we got to give everything to Justin Herbert. Now, I do think that we are rushing the ball well. Like, I just don't think that we're like sticking to it. Like, it's almost like it kind of reminds me of like BS. Remember his first season, he was like going for it on fourth down a ton.
Always,
and then the off
Big
season,
Big Ball Staley. Remember him?
Yeah, Big Ball Staley. Like, and then everybody kind of criticized him about it. And they were like, "Oh, that's ridiculous that he did that." He fell away from that and just went completely.
Then it became small ball Staley. Yeah,
right. And he went small ball Staley at that point. So, yeah. So it's kind of almost like when Greg Roman got put into this, back as an OC. There, everybody's like, "Oh, they're gonna run the ball like crazy," and he's like, "Oh no, you know what? Guess what I'm gonna do? Throw the ball like crazy."
Yeah.
Like he just flipped the whole thing too. Like, going back to say last week's game, we didn't really have a whole heck of a lot of runs in that game, and we kind of just stopped running the ball once again. And against the Chiefs, we ran the ball with 18 times with our running backs, probably one of the highest I've seen. Last week we ran it 11 times.
11. Like, we need to at least do 20. We need at least 20, and I still think it needs to be more than that too, because we got to get Vidal going. We got to get Gus Edwards going. I mean, I honestly I like the rookie. I like Vidal, man. I think he's going to be great.
He's good.
So
I think he's good even between the tackles. I feel like he's running better than Gus Edwards, in my opinion. Like, I think he could be more of a pass threat, to be honest. Remember, his first catch was against the Broncos, and it was on a wheel route down the hash, basically, or down the sideline. Perfect catch, perfect throw, touchdown, great situation. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that same type of route again in this game. It worked last time. Let's try it again. Maybe they don't remember this, kind of thing. So I think it would be interesting to see that one again. But yeah, once again, I'm right there with you. Run the ball on the outside of the tackles, drag a guard out to be a lead blocker with Matlock, get as many people as you can in front of the running back, make it just be a little bit more physical. Let people hit each other on the outside of the line.
Yeah, well, I do wonder. I mean, it depends on what game we're playing, right?
Yeah.
Because you need squishy balls when you play pickleball a little bit, right?
Squishy balls.
What is squishy ball?
I think that's more tennis ball. Tennis balls.
That's a good point. That's more tennis ball. That you don't know because pickleball is hard. It's a hard plastic. But we're getting off topic, bros. We're getting off topic. Let's go.
It's every show for us. It's every show with us.
I know.
That's what keeps us fun. That's what keeps us youthful. You know what I'm saying?
I need to take my Adderall. I got to double the dose. You know what I mean? Got to make it happen.
Well, let's go to Denver's offense defense just to look at their rankings. I mean, 24 points per game, number 10 in the league for offense.
Getting better.
17.6, tied for first with allowing their defense allowed points. We're tied at this point. They are a good defense, guys. Like, they are a good defense. Now, they do obviously have some missing guys on defense at this point, but they still are finding ways to, keep scores down essentially for them too. One thing I did want to just point out offensively, and just thinking for Bo Nix, I kind of wrote down some of the better defenses that they've played against and how Bo Nix has fared well with them. So in 4 losses this season, actually 5 losses, I could say, one of them should have been in that Chiefs game where the blocked field goal situation.
Don't get me started on that.
That is ridiculous. So he actually had his best game against a good defense that time. It was 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. But then when he went against the Ravens, he had 223 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick. Chargers, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. So that's a pretty good game. Steelers, 242 yards, 2 picks, no touchdowns. Seahawks, 138 yards, 2 picks. So there's this thing where it's like, I think he does well against those teams that you should beat and those teams that are not as stout as defenses, but he always has games where I feel like he doesn't do well against good defenses.
Yeah,
he's not going to light you up essentially too. Now, Colts last week, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks is another thing they found a way to win, which is crazy. Colts shot themselves in the foot, to be honest, because that run and touchdown and then dropped the ball outside of the touchdown line and then let it go out of bounds and screwed them on a touchdown, essentially. The Browns game, 294 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. He found a way to win that. So what I'm saying is that I think turnovers will be a big, big part of this game, and getting Bo Nix to kind of essentially maybe kind of that Baker Mayfield thing last week where it was just kind of like make him kind of double clutch, make him think a little bit more. As long as we have good coverage, I think that we'll do well. Now, hold him in the pocket too is a big thing because he did rush the ball well on us when we played him early on in the year. So
yeah, which is a really interesting situation. And I you're right. What Bo Nix we're going to get, but I think it's going to come down to the defenses, man. I mean, both these defenses are very good, and I guess this is kind of why I'm saying I think we should run the ball more this time because you can get sustained drives, and then Bo Nix will do something stupid, right? And one or two turnovers will win the game, or at least we'll potentially have an opportunity to win the game. But again, what team are we going to get from the Chargers this week, right? Because we got host slapped. We got host slapped against Baker Mayfield. I mean, I didn't think he could do that at all. I was like, man, but
we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about that. No.
we ain't talking about that. We flushed it. We flushed it.
It's flushed. It's flushed. It's all good. Yep.
Yeah, it was bad to see. I mean, once again, you'd hope what's going to happen that this game is going to fuel the defense and the offense to play a much better all around. And I think that's what's going to happen. I expect that to happen. If it doesn't happen quickly, it's going to be a tight game, boys. Like, it's going to be a very, very tight game. Both defenses could find ways to hold offenses. I think, once again, I do feel that Denver offense has the ability to score a lot of points. I just don't know if it'll be against our defense that they'll be able to score a lot of points against us. Now, to Andrew's point, I think that if we run the ball and pace the game out, get some long sustaining drives, punch them in the mouth, play that Harbaugh-like offense, that Harbaugh-like defense, punch people in the mouth, hit them hard, basically make sure they know, like, you are in SoFi Stadium right now and you're about to get hit. You're going to get punched in the mouth. So that's what needs to happen.
I think that's what they need to do too, because, I mean, again, and they just need to keep, lean on the defense too. The defense can be great, right? I'm not worried about the defense. I just long sustained drives, keep that offense churning, let that offensive line, get rolling. And I think we could be in good ways, anyways. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting.
One thing I was going to throw out too, for the Broncos O-line, last 5 games, they've only given up 5 quarterback pressures total. That's not good. That's like crazy to hear that. Like, that's amazing. For the Chargers, you got to find a way to keep Bo Nix, situated. Now, once again, he might be rolling out of the pocket quite a bit. So he has kind of a situation where he could run the ball or throw the ball. There's a lot of things like that it could be, and how that they run their offense. But once again, like, it's going to be tough to hold down Bo Nix. I'm not going to say that their run game is going to be much of a threat. Bo Nix's legs is the run game, in my opinion. You got to hold him down as much as you possibly can. I think our cornerbacks need to step up. I thought it was funny. Chargers put up a post yesterday of like Tarheeb Still. And I don't know if it was something to do with the Pro Bowl or trying to talk him into being Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny the way that they named the post was Tarheeb Steele. And I thought that was pretty good. So I'm going to basically adapt that to my language. Now it is Tarheeb Steele from now on, not Tarheeb Still. So I think it was pretty funny. But I think our cornerbacks have to play lights out this game. I think they have to play absolutely lights out. Denzel Perryman being back is going to be huge for the Chargers defense. Once again, he's that Swiss Army knife that really disrupts the pocket and does a great job of getting pressure to the quarterback. I think our defense has to tackle better because we have been, I feel, regressing for the last couple of weeks in tackling. Like, we've been taking very bad routes to basically get to the defender or the person who has the ball, quarterback, running back, whoever it is. They need to be able to be locking up players more. I feel like we've lost that little touch with this defense. So, we got it. What, $19.99?
$20 holla.
Are we doing 20 of the? That's gonna be
don't you dare. Yeah, no, don't you dare.
I'll just do 2. I'll just do 2. There you go. I gotta do all 20.
No, don't you dare.
Man. Yeah. We should maybe have in the club that sound that the DJs put out there. There it is.
There we go. Yeah. That's a good one. I like that one better.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. All right. So, let's see this question. Did that receiver who went to Chicago leave after Harbaugh came in? If so, why the heck would he want to come back? Are you talking about Allen? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Well,
I assume that's what it is. Consolation Pegasus, man. Appreciate the.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Once again, man. Very much appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, the argument is that he didn't have a good time, obviously, in Chicago, and then he knows Herbert, and that's the argument. Now, whether he does it or not, your guess is as good as mine. Yeah. Again, a lot of things could happen in the offseason, and we'll see what happens.
I honestly don't think that he left because of Harbaugh. He left because of Greg Roman, and for good reason, because he knew. I mean, a lot of wide receivers, they don't want to play for Greg Roman because they know his offensive scheme is not wide receiver friendly. It's I mean, obviously we saw some of the analysts of the game. We had 2 wide receivers out there and 9 people at the line. So it's like, the opportunities to get the ball thrown to them are significantly less under Greg Roman's offense. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're a wide receiver, why would you want to play with him? It's like it's really frustrating for, I'm sure, a million wide receivers. So especially veterans like Keenan Allen.
Well, I think he also left for money too. He got paid $12 million from the Chargers, and he got $15 million. Yeah. $15 million,
right?
Yeah, he was like $30 million, I believe.
We got $30 million. Oh my gosh! So he I think he left for money. Yeah.
Keenan Allen left for money, and he kind of also, I think this is my thought. They let go of Mike Williams, and he said, "My boy's gone. I'm going to do them dirty, and I'm going to leave them too," kind of thing.
Yep.
And obviously they asked him to say, "Hey, look, can you take a pay cut after he had a career year?" And he's like, "No, I'm not going to do that."
Like, nah. Why would I do that?
Yeah. Khalil Mack took a pay cut, and he had a career year in sacks too. So it's, once again, I think it was he felt like he got burned because Mike Williams got let go. Hey, now we want to pay you more or less money to be here after a career year. He just didn't want to do that. I mean, he took money over winning essentially at this point, and it was clear as day. I feel like that's exactly what it was. Now, will he come back? Who knows?
Well, I don't know though. That was his agent made that choice. I feel like for Keenan. I think Keenan did probably want to make something keep something with the Chargers, but the agent chose not to. And I feel like because he did fire his agent right after the deal, so it's very possible that he may have wanted to make a deal with the Chargers, but and he didn't want to go to Chicago, freaking cold city,
Yeah.
He did verbally say, my only argument there is he did verbally say, why would I take a pay cut when I just came off my best season, right? Yep, like Anthony says there, it was strictly business for Keenan.
Yeah.
So
I think he's deeply regretting it now, though. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and that's but that doesn't mean he's coming back, But again, that's an off-season conversation.
But he has said he's either going to stay in Chicago or go back to LA.
Yeah. So, yeah. But once again, both of those teams need to want him to be back too. Right? Yeah. So I mean, it really depends. But bottom line, guys, this is a big game tonight. I'm excited about this game tonight. I think I will be at the Arizona Bolt Pride 602 watch party. It's going to be exciting to be there, which is some fans. Hopefully we can celebrate.
Got another one, man.
Good Wiggins. I could have some good Wiggins too.
Some good Wiggins.
So I'm looking forward to it. But we got another super chat here. Let's throw it up here.
Constellation Pegasus, baby.
Constellation Pegasus, man. Thank you, man. Once again.
Big one.
Go. Yeah. Give him the cannon there. Let's go.
Yeah, that's right.
So he says, comment is, if Allen left because of whatever, let him enjoy the salt and snow. Team is better off without him, man. And, the thing about it is like Keenan Allen and Justin Herbert have absolute chemistry, as we know.
Yeah, they do.
And to be honest, there's a side that you would like to be able to see that. Now it's just Ladd McConkey became that new guy for him.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's exciting to see what we have with Ladd. Ladd, to me, is a faster Keenan Allen, in my opinion. Great route runner, has the ability, but has more wiggle room than Keenan Allen. Like, you have seen Ladd McConkey have a couple long touchdowns. It's been a long time that I've seen Keenan Allen have a long touchdown. Keenan Allen gets to the spot and will be there for you and be open to be able to get you whatever amount of yards you want.
Yeah. And he just falls down
kind of guy to go further, so.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that too. And I'm with you, Constellation Pegasus, whatever. I mean, I was very clear. I was like, he chose money over staying with the Chargers, right? Yeah. So, and again, let's look at the exact opposite. What did Bosa and Mac do? They took a pay cut to stay. So there's the two opposite, sides of the conversation. Now, again, they're still going to get their money. It's just spread out over, a different amount of times, right? So, but I mean, I guess that's my point, right? So
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, me personally, I would actually totally accept Keenan Allen to come back. It's
me too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, I get the idea of hey, you know what, you chose money over family essentially. Yeah, fine. Go take a hike. But I'm like, hey man, I'm all about that prodigal son, it's all good, go out there, go hoe around for a little bit, get your hoe phase on,
Yeah.
But you come on back to the family, saying it's all good, like, hey, ain't nothing. But we're gonna pay you less, by the way. He
wanted to test the Tinder app, he wanted to test the Tinder and Bumble. He's out there hitting it up.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He's swiping and doing his thing,
That's right. Miguel said, would you choose money? Man, I always choose money, man. You gotta get paid.
Well, okay, all right. Then a what if scenario? The Raiders offer you a coaching job. Coaching job. Yeah, $15 million a year.
Oh God. I would do it. Done.
Oh man!
I mean, hey, 15 mil is 15 mil, guys. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Okay, so I take back my statement about the prodigal son and choosing money over family because you out of the family now, Andrew.
You have been disowned. That's funny. Oh boy. Yeah. I'll be the next Chucky. I'll be the next. I'll be the next head coach of the
minimum. I would accept. Or to go over to the Raiders would be $100 million.
$100 million a year.
Holy
$100
million.
Yeah,
that's how. Holy shit! You got Antonio Pierce, who's a coach that has been coaching for a little bit in the college rankings, getting paid like $2 million a season. Ain't no way that's gonna happen, dude. Ain't no way that's gonna happen. Come on.
Hey. No, man.
You get no $100 million, dude. Come on.
$100 million a year, man.
Here we go.
$100 million a year, and I would still tank the Raiders intentionally. It's just saying.
Yeah. Here you go. Miguel's got it right. Yeah, we're the triple clowns right now.
Triple clown bros.
Triple
That's what's up. Yeah,
dude. Triple clowns.
Right.
Well, I know we're about that time. I know we got to get going, getting ready for the game. I will say this. I'll start first. I'll just say this, man. I think we need to get back to running the ball and.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I just think that there's no way with that good of a defense, we don't want to throw the ball a ton.
Yeah.
No matter what, I think we need to be stubborn and stick with the run game and be creative for a second. I mean, I don't understand why we keep doing the same things over and over again in the running game, and I just get really frustrated. Like, man, I watch these other teams, and they got an interesting running scheme, and they're just always. There's always something happening. There's a little bit of eye candy going on and yada, yada. And I don't know. It's vanilla run plays. And it's like, it ain't fooling nobody. So that's my frustration. But I think we need to stick to the run game this time. And, hopefully our defense steps up.
Yep.
I'm going to kind of go opposite there. I think they need to cook up some better play calls on the passing game, because obviously as we saw, you can't throw it to somebody if you got, 2 against 6, out there, so we need to get some of those short pass situations too, obviously because Gus Edwards, he ain't cooking at all. He did 11 rush attempts for 23 yards last game. And he's been the same way for the past, how many games? All season, he's been really not. Maybe his vision's not good. Maybe the play call's not good. He's going up the gut too much or whatever. But that's been a huge concern for me. So if that's the case, you need to let Justin Herbert cook because he's our MVP of the team anyways. So get Ladd open, get QJ, get Palmer, get well, Hurst hopefully now can catch it. Hey, gotta respect the beard, baby. Gotta respect the beard. So, but then that's my thing. Sure, I would love to get the run game back, but our run game is J.K. Dobbins, and he's not available to come back until next week anyway. So we gotta make something happen on the pass game for sure. That's what I think this week. So there you go. James is the tiebreaker on this. So
yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, I think to your point, Kyle, like I think we have to play a lot more quicker passes. We have to stop having these longer type routes, and they do that a lot with Bo Nix too, to where they kind of do a lot more shallower, shorter drive or routes to give him a lot more easier throws to throw downfield. I mean, that's kind of something they did a lot with Drew Brees. Now, I'm going to say, once again, Taylor, I'm just going to throw that out there because he's got there on the screen. Taylor, thank you so much for the $2 shout out. Thank you so much. I love it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you got the combo, Taylor. You got the combo.
Yeah. There you
go.
That's
right. I'll answer that, and then I'll go to my final thoughts. So, thoughts on the running back draft class. Obviously, Ashton Jeanty would be an absolute dream to be on this team. Yeah. Absolute dream. Probably not going to land to where our draft pick is going to be at. Personally, I think Cameron Scatterbo from Arizona State. Watch him next week in the Peach Bowl. That guy is an absolute think of him like, I don't think he's the fastest dude, but he's one of those guys that's very hard to take down, and he will get through a lot of tackles. His yards after tackles are insane. The guy is an absolute tank, in my opinion. That guy fits, to me, a very physical guy, and you might be able to get that guy possibly in the 3rd to 4th round, which I think would be fair for the Chargers to go for a running back at that time. So personally, that's where I'd be at. I haven't really analyzed all the other backs at this point, but obviously Ashton Jeanty, pipe dream. Scatterbo, I think, is one of those guys. It's a phenomenal back from ASU.
I like the 2 running backs from Ohio State, Trayvon Henderson and Quentin Judkins as well. Those guys are pretty solid. They're both pretty big dudes as well. Mm-hmm. Very similar type guys, you know. Yep. I know. Anyways, but yeah, Jeanty's going to go 1st round for sure, and I don't think we're going to go after him. I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Personally, I think we're going 1st round center. That's my thoughts.
I could see that. Yeah. Just try to get the best center at that point. I mean, that's the one thing that Ortiz talked about: get best player available. And,
it's always going to be best player available. And it's funny. I never thought he would. I didn't think that was actually a thing. And the more you look at the draft, you're like, oh no, it was best player available. I mean, we drafted 2 cornerbacks in a row, you know, which I thought was pretty interesting. I was like, wow, okay. So anyhow.
Going to my final thoughts here too, you know, and actually there was a comment that just popped up, and it was talking about from Chris B. Let Herbert throw out of the pocket with a lot of the, you know, which makes sense. Right. I mean, get him out of the pocket. Stop letting him sit in the pocket. I understand he's got kind of a jacked up ankle. That is definitely something that needs to be done.
2 jacked up ankles and a bad knee.
Yeah, crazy. I also will say, try your best to not allow Nick Bonito on the Denver defense get involved too much. Play away from him, and do not let Pat Surtain also get involved too much in this game too. There are other weaknesses and other cornerbacks and other positions that you could target to be able to allow yourself to have a successful game. Run away from those players, in my opinion. Run more outside of the line. Once again, you have 2 very good tackles, right? Pull one of your guards out. Put Matlock in front of the running back. Let them block. Let them do their thing. Play on the outside. Punch people in the mouth. I would say put Kamani Vidal more as the starter of this game than Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards should be more of kind of a short yardage type situation, goal line situation, in my opinion. Let Kamani cook a little bit more. I personally think that's what needs to be done. Now, the defense needs to tackle a lot better, play a lot more physical. Once again, keep that physical nature up. I will say one thing too. I feel like these games where it becomes like, hey, you got to win one of these 2. This year, I feel like we've done a good job as a team to really step up when you need to get a win. And this could be obviously one of those situations. It should have been beat the Bucs last week. Didn't happen. This is the week you need to beat the Broncos. And this is a good team. We need to find a way to win versus a good team. Yeah. Harbaugh's here for a reason. And this is the reason why he's here, is to basically clinch these type of games to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, good job. Thank you, High Voltage, as well too. Nice prediction. That makes sense. And Constellation Pegasus, thanks again.
Oh, nice.
Which Chuck Munster is here now. Oh, there we go. I like that too. Yeah, and by the way, Taylor, Omari and Hampton, he's that running back
from $5 hollers.
Yeah, that's right. And that's he's a running back from North Carolina, and yeah, he's a big dude. Natron Means is there right now, so
that's right. You gotta holler at our boy Natron, dude.
Yeah. And then there's another guy from Iowa, Caleb Johnson. I remember seeing him.
Yeah.
Again, the thing about a running back too, though, I kind of feel like you can kind of wait a little deep into the draft and find some good value. I mean, look at
sure.
The guy that changed that was guy on the Chiefs. What's his name?
Oh yeah. Pacheco,
yeah, 7th round pick, right? So
he basically ruined my fantasy year by going on injury. So like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, before he was got injured, I was doing great, but then afterwards, I'm like, well, there you go. There goes my fantasy.
Actually, did I lose last week? If I lost last week, I'm out of the playoffs, man. I suck, man. I don't know, dude.
My fantasy year was absolutely miserable.
This was a frustrating fantasy year, man. Oh boy,
terrible.
Terrible.
The worst.
Terrible.
Turns out Kelly, our sister, made the right choice by drafting Josh Allen first round. I'm like,
we were giving her so much crap. Like, man,
it's like,
you stupid.
You're so dumb. I mean, like, oh gosh, I think he's got like the most points ever.
He's like balling out.
When he got engaged, he only stepped up his game too. By the way, he's like 13 touchdowns, no picks. Like since he's been engaged, he's balling out, dude. Like he's crazy.
He's getting that nightly, bounce, shake, wow. Hey, calms the nerves. It's all
chills them out a little bit. That's great.
All right, guys. Well, hey, we're gonna go live after the game. Win, lose, or cry, whatever happens, right? We're gonna go live. So nuts, no butts, no coconuts. You know what I mean? Let's try to make it happen.
Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Bolt up, bolt up,
baby.
Bolt up,
bros.
There we go. All right, guys. Yeah. We'll see you after the game.
Bros,
let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night.